Afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Rate Review Committee meeting. Today is Tuesday, February 10th, 2026. This meeting of the Ayer Rate Review Committee will be held in person at the location provided on this notice. Members of the public are welcome to attend this in-person meeting. Please note that while an option for remote attendance and/or participation via Zoom is being provided as a courtesy to the public, the meeting hearing will not be suspended or terminated if technological problems interrupt the virtual broadcast, unless otherwise required by law. Members of the public with a particular interest in a specific item on this agenda should make plans for in-person versus virtual attendance accordingly. This meeting will be live on Zoom. The public may access the proceedings by joining Zoom meeting ID number 978-772-8220 or by calling 929-205-6099. For additional information about remote participation, please contact Carly Antonellis, Assistant Town Manager at atm@ayer.ma.us or 978-772-8220, extension 100 prior to the meeting. All right, and first things up, has everybody had a chance to look at the January 27th, 2026 meeting minutes? I had one question. It's on page 2, where I say, Jay Livingston stated that the models are fixed scenarios based on changing the increase in percentage and use of retained earnings. Does that make sense to anybody? I remember saying that I was trying to say that the models that we use are fixed, but this sentence just doesn't sound right. And I have no idea what it's supposed, I think it's supposed to be like that the models are fixed.
Yep.
And that we're trying to live change it to show different scenarios. So if we could fix that, because I looked at it, I'm like, I know sometimes I can babble, but good Lord.
Having been at the meeting, I know what you're talking about, but
yeah, so it just, I kept reading it and I'm like, I have no idea what that means. So if we could just check exactly what I said. So are there any other comments?
I'll make the motion to approve the minutes as amended.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Chair says aye. Meeting minutes have been approved as amended. All right, thank you. Hello.
Hello.
Hey. We run out of chairs?
Anybody else need to?
All right. So next up is the review, discussion, vote on the FY 2027 water, sewer, and stormwater rate recommendation. So I'd like to start with stormwater first. As we've all talked about, we, the stormwater started collecting funds like around September, October timeframe. Okay. So we don't even have any real numbers to look at to have any recommendations. So as we all talked, we're not doing anything with the stormwater as far as the rate. So I'd like to make that official and vote on doing that. Okay. So I will make a motion that the stormwater rate remain at the current $95.
Second.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Chair says aye. All right. Next up, water. I believe we were talking about a possible, what was it? That one was going to be on the back here.
The first couple pages in the packet are the prior scenarios, just done.
Yeah, so I know we kind of talked about for water, a 3% increase in using 350,000 in retained earnings. That's where we left off at last meeting.
Correct.
Okay. Who wants to take it from there?
But just one thing in the packet, just that scenario is the very last one in the packet with the 3% and 350. And then I did also include a 5% 350 because I had it in my notes that we discussed that. But
Okay.
it's just for informational purposes. The one up on the screen is the 3% and 350,000 and the sewer at 5% and 50.
All right, and how does that affect the or resident at this rate.
My mouse working. Oh, there, right there. So with this, it looks like we're going to go from the annual water bill from 133 to 137 for the typical single family residential customer.
Right.
And for sewer from 413,000 annual to 433. It's a $4 increase on the water side.
Right, which is basically $1 a quarter. And then the $20 is basically $5 a quarter. Did you want to say something? Oh, okay, you're just looking at me. Okay. Wasn't sure if she was looking at me like, me next. And what if we did the 5% water?
So that's the next to the last scenario in your packet. Let me bring that up on the screen. Keeping the retained earnings at 350. I'm just going to change the percentage because we're just looking for the effect of the taxpayer, correct? For this?
Yep.
Okay. That goes from a $4 increase to a $6 change.
Okay, and then as far as for what it does for us for future.
So going to a 5%, when I did run the scenarios, it looked like it made about a $40,000 difference in revenue for the year, 42, I think it was. That's an estimate based on me running the scenarios earlier in the week. And then for future, I'll bring it up to that fund balance. There, here's your water cash flow. Or do you want to see the fund balance? I can't fit them both on the screen fully.
Well, we'll look at both.
So the cash flow still looks like a decrease in 28 because, we're not anticipating retained earnings being used for 28 at that as of right now.
And again, that's because the rate model is fixed.
The
It
rate model.
doesn't know what we're gonna do. Right. So, all right,
So that's what you meant.
that's, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I meant. I'm like.
And this is the 5%?
Yeah, this is with the 5% and this is still with retained earnings being used, right?
Only for fiscal 27. It's not.
Right, so we're looking at, what we're looking at right now is 5% on the water with with using 350K on the retained earnings. And the water fund balance? How does it go down? Because we use retained earnings?
Yeah, so your fund balance will decrease when you use your retained earnings.
If I may,
Yep.
if you look up a little bit, the other reason it goes down so quickly is because the projected revenue is so far below the line for expenses. So it assumes that you have to dip into retained earnings in order to maintain your balance.
And you'll also see the proposed debt services for 31, 32. It's because we have those larger projects coming on the horizon. So it's anticipating those without anticipating additional retained earnings being used. That makes sense. But focusing on fiscal 27, this scenario would comfortably, in my opinion, work.
5%?
Yes.
This does not include anticipated increases in revenue because the clear.
It does not. We don't know what that would be.
So, because hopefully we're going to see more of a level revenue, but they said this is a very conservative.
It is a very conservative model, the way they've designed
Mhm.
designed it, it does take your current information and then do very conservative projections.
And if we did the 3%, what are the?
Yeah. That, we also have printed, that's the very last model in the packet. And, that's where I think we're okay. We're just a little closer. It's just a little tighter at 3%.
So, I mean, I know we can look at the numbers and, you know, say, well, it's only a $4 to a $6. But that might be fine for discussion, but how does it affect the resident? You know? And with all the other things going on, so. Discussion?
Madam Chair, I would just offer, and point taken as we take into account the ratepayer. As we discussed last time, perhaps the 3% with the 350,000 for FY 27, and we have a big variable, which we're cautiously optimistic about, which is the Clearwell. So revenue, hopefully production and revenue will hopefully go up in FY 27. So then when we reconvene for FY 28, I think we would have more of the complete picture. So, I mean, just from my perspective, I think if you're looking to balance for the ratepayer and the taxpayer, I mean, the 3% with the 350 gets us there. We have basically a year, just shy of a year. Once the Clearwell gets on, we'll have more of a production revenue picture. I mean, I think if the 3 and the retained earnings does it, I would hold off on the 5 scenario until next year and we look at it. But that's just my 2 cents.
I think that sounds reasonable, you know. I mean,
Trending towards where we need to be, but yet still being
right,
cognizant of the ratepayer. I like
right, right. So, is everybody?
I agree.
Okay. So are we comfortable or do you need further discussion on the water?
I'm comfortable.
Comfortable?
Yeah.
Okay. All right then. So we want to make a motion?
Madam Chair, I will make a motion that the rate review committee recommend a 3% increase for water for FY 27 using 350,000 in retained earnings.
Second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
The chair says aye. All right. Okay, that was good. All right, now comes sewer. All right, so we left off with talking about a 5% increase using 50,000 in retained earnings.
That's the model. That's what's up there.
Okay, and
Scroll over.
So this has the 50,000 in retained earnings being used and the 5% going back to the 5% scenario that we historically have done.
And what's the effect on the consumer?
$20 annual increase for the typical single family residential.
did we discuss like a 4%? Just, I don't remember. We did. And it would generate an estimated surplus of 16,700. And
Would you like me to put in 4%?
To see the effect on the resident.
yeah, because here it says it would generate an estimated surplus of 16,700. But if we do a rate increase of 5% using 50, it would generate, it would generate an estimated surplus of 10,000? You know what, I think we need to go back over these meeting minutes. Because now.
Where is that? What page? Oh,
Yeah,
sewer rate increase, 4% using 50,000. Would it generate a surplus of 16,700? Page 3, middle of the page. Middle of the page, number 3. Let's see, sewer in rate increase of 4% using,
I don't know if it was 10,000.
And the next one, 5%, it says 10,000.
yeah.
that could be a typo.
That might be a typo, probably around 20,000.
Right, so we gotta fix, so 5% is,
We were looking at another tab.
okay,
We were, but let me put in the scenario. The scenario was 5%.
mhm. With,
We put the
With using
5%
50.
back and the 50 is already plugged in. We go look at the cash flow. Using 50,000. It's 59,481
at 5% with,
with 50,000,
that would be a surplus of.
Okay,
essentially, yeah.
all right.
Okay, I'll fix that.
I'm gonna err on the side of caution that these meeting minutes maybe be brought back to us at our next meeting for review. Because now we've found something else that we didn't talk about when we approved. Should I make a motion on that?
I mean, I can
Or could just-
I can
We
correct
could,
it.
we could amend them. Let's, why don't we check, plug in the 4% and
Yeah.
correct.
Right,
Let's
so,
double check the 4% figure.
well, that's what I'm saying. I think we're gonna need to make sure that everything's correct. So we did, because we thought there was one amendment, but now there's two. So I'm gonna make a motion to rescind the approval of the meeting minutes from whatever date, January 26th, 27th. All right, and that they be redone and brought forward to us at our next meeting.
I'll second that.
Okay, all those in favor?
I
Chair says aye. Thank you. It was just one of those weird scenarios. So, okay, so those will come back to us. All right, so what we decided, so, yeah, so it was gonna be a 57,000,
59,481 estimated at.
41 at 5%.
and 50,000.
Right. All right, and the 4%.
So we wanted to see the 4% effect on the tax bill.
Right.
Bear with me.
What it was gonna do on the cash flow too.
So it goes from a $20 increase to
16.
Mhm.
Yeah, 16, okay, and that's with the 4%. And what was that gonna do with the cash flow?
16,700, okay.
So there's
Yeah, yeah, okay, good.
So
We need-
4% using 50.
Yeah,
Wow.
is the 16,700, which is.
5% gives you a lot more. Holy Christ.
Okay, so that one's.
Can we look at the revenue line with this 100%? Oh, the cash flow with chart.
Cash flow chart. Fund balance one or the cash?
No, the sewer cash flow. Okay, so we're still covering everything for until what, 20? in 2030.
All right, so if we do the 5%, it's about a $20 annually. Annually?
Yeah, that's the annual.
And if we do the 4, gives us still a little surplus. We're still okay. And it's like $16 on the resident. So it might not sound a lot, but I don't know. How does everybody feel? I mean, the idea is that we gotta achieve what we need to achieve to be able to fix everything.
So I feel with the 4% showing that continue to break even under sewer cash flow. The sewer fund balance remains in the black until 2033.
So we could treat this like we're treating water, do it a little bit more conservative this year, with next year being a little higher. How does everybody feel?
So in this, are we using retained earnings again next year?
Oh, no.
I'm just looking at the trend. I mean, would the expenses be higher than say you did 4% again next year? That's how what it's showing. I just can't see that revenue dot versus the expense dot, FY 28.
Yeah, again,
I'm just, so if we do 4% this year with 50,000.
We're okay this year.
This year, but next year we may end up, if you just kept going up to 4%, you're still in trouble. You have to bump up to 5 or something higher, or see again.
Yeah, it looks very close. It's probably just under there, and the model does assume continuing a 4% increase in this chart.
If I may, to your point, Dan, I think with the sewer fund balance, the bar is pretty level, so it seems
Like
like
negligible,
it
yeah.
wouldn't be eating away at retained earnings.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like I'd say more concerned about water than this one.
All right, how does
Yeah.
everybody feel? With 4%, with 50? What if we didn't do any, if we didn't do any retained earnings for sewer? How would that,
Then you would be 16,700 minus 50 grand, we'd be negative 34,000.
okay, so we will go down, yeah, okay,
By 34,000.
okay.
Okay.
So
Then
I
if
think
you
you would
did-
have to do the 5%.
Then you do 5%, you'd be 9,000 in the black.
Yeah, let's do the retained earnings.
I'm comfortable with 4% and then the 50,000 retained earnings. Again, it seems the cash flow is pretty break even. The sewer fund balances remains strong.
Yeah.
Is everybody comfortable with the 4%, 50,000?
Yeah.
I had to mull it over for a little bit, but I'm okay with it.
Yeah, so, all right, any further discussion on this? Okay, I'll take a motion.
Madam Chair, I'll make a motion that the rate review committee recommend a sewer rate increase of 4% with 50,000 in retained earnings for FY 2027.
Seconded, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
The chair says aye. We have our recommendation.
All right. Yeah, cool. All right, next up is the review, discussion, vote on the FY 27 water and sewer rate schedule, the connection and other.
The last page in the packet.
Tab over.
On the internet.
Yep. Right here, I see it. Got it.
And then just tab over. There you go. All right. All right,
I would like to reiterate.
sure.
Okay, so the first up is the backflow fees. So we currently charge $100 per regular test and $75 for a retest. And I'd like to recommend that we standardize that because it costs us the same amount of money, no matter what kind of test it is, whether it's a retest or a test.
Okay. Anybody have any questions? Right.
Okay.
Take a motion on the backflow test recommendation.
I'll make a motion to recommend that the backflow fees be standardized to $100 per test, whether they are retest or test.
Second.
Alright, all those in favor?
Aye.
Chair says aye. All right, guys. Recommendation's been made. Okay, next.
Second item is fire service connection fees, where we do have 2-inch fire services now going into the system. And at this current time, we don't have a fee schedule for that 2-inch fire service. So I'd like to recommend that we introduce or establish a 2-inch fire service. And based on the other fire service numbers that we do have, I recommend that it be at $2,000 for a 2-inch fire service.
Any questions?
No.
All right. I'll take a motion.
Okay, I'll make a motion that we recommend to establish a new 2-inch fire service connection fee at $2,000.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Chair says aye. Now it's the water and sewer connection fees.
So yeah, we did this last time too, but we re-looked at the water sewer connection fee calculation and those are based off of upcoming capital items, II removal. There's legally what we're allowed to base it off of. And plugging that in, it's been since 2023 since we've updated these. We get a new connection fee for the water for the 1-inch, 1.5-inch service and 2-inch services of $5,100 per equivalent residential unit. It's a 3-bedroom house. And sewer connection fee similarly from $6,000 to $6,375. And so that's what Kimberly and I recommend moving forward with.
Any further discussion? I know we kind of talked about it a little bit last meeting, so.
I'll make a motion for the FY27 water and sewer connection fee rates. Those increase from water increases from 4,800 to 5,100 for the 1-inch, 1.5 and 2-inch services per ERU. And sewer, the connection fee increases from 6,000 per ERU to 6,375.
Seconded. All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Chair says aye. All right, we have recommendations. All right, scheduling of the public hearing. All right. No? You can have March 3rd or March 17th. March 17th, you have to wear green.
Yeah, 17th, we
17th?
usually do it that.
Yeah, give it time to
17th.
advertise and promote it.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Public
Yeah.
hearing. Yeah.
Okay, public hearing will be March 17th. Well, the meeting starts at 6. We'll have the formal
Oh, right.
schedule for the public hearing, right? We'll probably have it like about 6:05, 6:05,
Yeah.
6:10. That'll come out further. Okay. Okay, now as far as the presentation goes, do y'all want to meet again to review the presentation prior to the public hearing or what? Y'all just,
What the group wants.
Yeah.
um,
I've primarily given it, right? And then Barbara, you've helped out a few parts maybe, and Kimberly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
but I'm- Yeah, and sometimes we look at it prior to
Yeah.
that, so.
So if you want to do it, we can.
You wanna-
I'll defer to whatever you want. How long would you think we need to do the, get the,
Ready? Couple of weeks. I could have it ready in 2 weeks. Or yeah. That would be the 24th.
Yeah, you can do
24th?
February 24th.
Okay. 4:00?
Unless you wanted to do March 3rd because you're already here for select board units, but
That, I'm good either way, whatever works for everybody else. The 24th or March 3rd, whatever works for everybody.
24th is fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
24th good for everybody? All right.
24th.
And that'll just be to review the presentation and whatnot.
Well,
Okay.
set them in four.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, I think we've covered everything. Anybody have any further questions?
motion to adjourn?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Chair says aye. We are adjourned. Thank you, everyone.